Any carer of a person with dementia will know that sleep deprivation of the carer is usually one of the abiding features. Last year I spent 4 months with no more than 2 hours of sleep at a time. The awake yet lucid dreaming state suffered by the patient is the hardest part of this. Not only is your own health significantly eroding, the person you're caring for appears eventually to be directly attacking you by employing methods that are well known to those countries using torture to break their prisoners. I have to say the first years of this were the worst. Unable to admit even to myself the scale of the problem, I simply couldn't understand that she couldn't hear me, no matter the volume of information delivery, and didn't understand that running up and down stairs, rattling the doors, and phoning people at 3 a.m. could be construed as a problem. Lately, I've had to disable the telephones and lock the house to prevent her wandering. I'm extremely fortunate to be able to do this, and it would be impossible if one were in a relationship. With babies, both parties are involved. With elderly parents, unless you're fortunate enough to have a very understanding and non-working partner, I'm sure it becomes impossible. Various tactics have been employed to encourage my mother to sleep normally. Keeping her up until midnight is a rule now. No sleeping in chairs is tolerated, and she still has to find her own breakfast to maintain the flow of activity and prevent thoughts of, for example, being on a boat 65 years ago from taking over. Making sure she can physically hear has also been important, as this can make it seem that she's worse than she actually is. And as I've said before, travel is enormously helpful in improving both her sleep quality and mine due to the enforced regulation of normal hours. Still, inevitably, from being able to spend 5 hours a day exercising and a couple of hours working until 2 years ago, even letting it out of my sight for 10 minutes has become impossible, and I'm extremely fortunate that one of my friends, a former nurse, has been extremely understanding and relieved some of the pressure from the situation. This, however, has still meant that I now catnap rather than sleep, frequently forget to brush my own hair, and generally look a bit too bohemian these days. Life is extremely simple. I wake up with a list of things needing done and achieve about half of them due to unforeseen circumstances caused by the illness. A fairly well-known raw foodist suggested to me a few years ago that dementia was a Western disease caused by the Western diet. I declined to correct him on this. Dementia is a disease welcomed by a society willing to offload problem relatives on the basis of troublesome behaviour, and is not recognised in societies with a culture of extended families, where odd behaviour is absorbed by a large number of people and delayed by filling the sufferer's head with so much daily reality and reactive stimulation that the dream state does not impinge too much on daily life. 10 slightly sleep-deprived family members' heads are better than one. But if you're the only one, adapting to the fact that keeping your loved one sufficiently busy and awake is more important than anything else in your life for the sake of your own sanity is key to managing this extremely challenging but perfectly normal aging process.